Welcome back to I Am Well podcast. I am your host, Hype Yogi, still Hype Yogi. Welcome to episode 3, recording live here in Seattle, Washington. It is hot in Seattle. Seattle summer is here or not, who knows? But so far, it has been really hot. For me, the 70s are the perfect temperature. Anything more than that is quite a lot. I don't know if you feel the same way. I know a lot of our listeners are from here in Seattle. And so, if you are listening to this and you are out and about enjoying the sunshine, what is up? I know some of you also know that I did live in Tulum for 6 months, and I would say that was the hottest season of my life, aka it was hot. I was melting. I was basically inside the house most of the time, or at the pool, or laying by the beach. That was the lifestyle. Here in Seattle, we do have beautiful beaches and refreshing lakes and places to be at. Favorite place in Seattle to watch the sunset would be, well, West Seattle by Alki. I also love Golden Gardens. And I don't know if some of you go to Denny Blaine. For those who know what Denny Blaine is, then you know. For this week's episode, I wanted to bring in a little bit more of my raw self on here because I truly believe that um, it is important for us to really come together from heart to heart. And sometimes when I am reading over here, it is going to be a little bit more kind of far away from your heart space. And so I wanted to be a little bit more closer to you, and I want you to feel like you're listening to someone that you actually truly know rather than just listening to something here on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Because as you know, we are live on Apple Podcasts, soon to be live on YouTube, and many more platforms for us to reach a wider audience. Currently, for the past 2 episodes, we have 4 countries represented. Welcome, welcome, welcome to all the people from different paths of my life, I guess. I got some people from Colombia listening. ¿Qué tal todos? I actually have some Spanish speakers who are listening, and at some point, perhaps, I will be speaking in español. ¿Por qué no? ¿Sí? My español is muy rusty right now because I haven't been practicing so well all the time, just like before. But I think I can pick it up. We also have some listeners tuning in from France because we were in Paris for a second and made some friends there. So if you are still listening to episode 3 for our listeners in France, Paris specifically, what's up? Bonjour. We also have some listeners from Canada. So I don't know how they say A. Things there in Canada, but what's up, Canadians? And obviously, most of our listeners are here in United States, specifically Seattle, Washington. So thank you so much for tuning in. As we go through the podcast episodes and recording, I do understand that there will be a lot of like shakeups in a way. The first episode to the second to the third, I am listening deeply to who am I really speaking to. So be loud for my listeners out there because I am here for you. I am here for us to grow as a community, and I am listening deeply into what is it that you truly want to dive deeply into, right? As you know, I am HYPEYOGI. I am a yoga instructor based in Seattle, Washington at the moment. Own two yoga studios here locally, brick and mortar businesses. And when I sold the company in 2023, I believe, 2 years ago, um, I started traveling, and the travels brought me to many yoga communities in Tulum, Mexico, yoga communities in Colombia. And I've learned that the reason why this podcast was needed to begin with, because we have classes that are only 60 minutes, where it is fully packed with movements, it's fully packed with lessons on the mat, a little bit of philosophy, yeah, a little bit of life story. And then somehow I'm like, oh, I wish we just have a platform where we can learn more and listen to each other more and discuss more. So, a conversation outside of those yoga classes that I traditionally teach. And so, um, the reflections too in those spaces, I really want to say thank you to those who come to my Wednesday night classes at Lululemon here in Seattle, Washington, U Village. It's free classes, by the way. So if you are here locally, please come through and join us. We have a back-to-back classes on Wednesday evenings. It starts at 5:45 p.m. For a yoga flow, a power flow, and then followed by a meditation. And so during this back-to-back classes last week, um, was sparked a conversation with my students, and basically commenting on the episodes and um, really appreciating the space that we get to have that extra moment of connection throughout the week, right? Because I only teach once a week currently. And just super grateful for the feedback that has been provided to me. And that feedback is like, how do we actually grow as a community? How can we be raw and intuitive while at the same time um, planned? While at the same time understanding that this is a content that will be stagnant in a way by the time it is processed and published and put out there, right? And so I am in constant reflection on what is it that I want to create creatively in this podcast. What kind of community do we want to build, and who do we really serve in this moment? And so, speaking of service, we're going to go straight to our topic. Right? Because big DNA of who I am in the community that I build is that there should be accessibility. Accessibility meaning it should be accessible for you to have wellness in your life. It should feel like it is just at reach and not something that you have to uh, pay an arm and a leg, or really really go out of your way to find your wellness. Wellness should be accessible at your fingertips. And this is why we even have this podcast, because it's literally your phone, your finger, click, listen to it, and hopefully you get something out of this space. Even just a space to sit down, relax, listen, get a cup of drink, savor it. Yeah. We learned that from last week. How do we savor moments with ourselves? Listening in, drinking your favorite drink, watching the sunset. Did I tell you which part of Seattle is my favorite sunset place? Hmm. It's always catching sunsets from here on out until it's dark time again. Anyway, accessibility, freedom. having it at your fingertips. So, in today's episode, I want to provide you practical steps that you can do just at your home, at your fingertips, free 99 that you can do to get in touch with yourself, right? Today, we will talk about freeing our body, freeing our mind through understanding somatic practices that you can apply every single day in your life. So, some of you probably have heard the word somatic lots of times. It's been really loud on social media lately, this last few years. Actually, I'm understanding that these episodes are also my space to recommend a book. And so, if you are wondering and wanting to learn more about somatics, and you're like, oh, what kind of book do I want to read? Something that I love reading is The Body Keeps Score, The Score, A Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma. And this is by Bessel van der Kolk. Yeah, I know the last name is quite hard to pronounce, but you know what I mean. I can link it down on the description to provide you this another book to read if you want to. So I was thinking about explaining a little bit about somatic being in our body, right? You probably would feel as you sit right here or as you're standing, whatever it is that you're doing, a little bit of tension. Where do you feel tension in your body at this time? So take a moment right here to just breathe in and then slowly breathe out. And at the bottom of that exhale, as you close your eyes, I want you to search, where is it that you need a little bit more space? Is it your jaw? Are you clenching your jaw right now? Hmm. Are you furrowing your brows? Hmm. Are you holding tension over your shoulders? Yeah. At least for me, I have been caved in quite a lot lately because your girl has a 9 to 5 job that I do on a desk. And so I've been in this movement of like caving in, right? So notice if you are there too. Notice if there's tension on your shoulders. Can you create space between your ears and your shoulders? Lengthen the neck, right? And as you lengthen the neck, you're like, oh, that's not really sustainable. Because really, where do we lengthen? We start at the bottom from our sit bones. Yeah. So that's your foundation. Notice your tailbone as is it tucked in? So that creates that caving effect in the chest. Because when your sit bones are rooted firmly, even out left and right side body, right? Your left side being your feminine side, your right side being your masculine side. Notice evening out the weight from one side to the next. And then notice the tailbone as it tilts out. So, and then perhaps you start to notice the chest, the rib cage expanding. So you're like, okay, let me bring the navel into the spine. So engage in your seat. Draw the shoulder blades down. Yeah. Allow your jaw to relax. Notice if your tongue is pressed up onto the palate, the roof of your mouth. So take a moment. Where do you hold tension? Most of the time, the tension spaces and spots that we have hold so much of trauma. Yeah. Notice the articulation of your joints, perhaps your wrists, your ankles, your knees, your hips, right? All these points in the body, um, beginning with the joints, understanding the muscles around the joints, and then understanding the movements that it creates as we activate different places in our body. So today, I'll be giving you 4 practical ways to tap in into the body, to find alignment, to start understanding this physical body of yours, because it all begins right there. There are 5 layers of self in the yogic tradition. We call it koshas, right? So in the layers of self, in the layers of self, we have the physical body, which is called Anamaya kosha. We have pranayama kosha, which is the life force body. We have the manomaya kosha, which is the mental sheath. Mm. We have the vijnanamaya, which is wisdom. And then the last deepest layer is anandamaya, which is the bliss body, right? So for this episode, we are focusing on our somatics, yeah, focusing on our physical sheath that then understanding that dictates our relationship with our inner self, our life force, our mental sheath, to then creates this beautiful wisdom, understanding all that, and then ultimately experiencing this bliss body, right? So here are ways for you, practical ways to ground down. Somatic movement is about tuning in to the body's sensations and using mindful movements to release stored tension and trauma. And this is not about performance, it's about presence and the benefits to truly understanding and practicing somatic movements uh, will allow you to release stuck energy in the body. So, for our first practice, we're gonna ground down with breath, starting with awareness of our breath. Take a moment right here to find a comfortable seat if you're not there yet, or reposition yourself. I'm gonna reposition myself too. Hmm. To where you feel your sit bones anchored, allowing yourself to be here in the present moment. Perhaps closing your eyes if that feels safe for you. And you're going to bring your hands on your body, your right hand over your heart space, your left hand over your belly. And take a moment right here to feel the ebbs and flow of the body. The inhale fills the belly as if you're pushing out the left hand on your belly. And then you slowly exhale, allowing the belly to soften, to contract. Maybe perhaps pressing the navel into your spine. And if you are an expert breather, there's like the press of the navel to the spine and then a lift up. Let's practice that again. Inhale in and exhale slowly. There's a contraction in the belly and then a little bit of a lift. Beautiful. Last one right here. Inhale in. And then exhale out. Notice the bottom of the exhale. Press the navel into the spine. And then a little lift up. I hope that makes sense to you. Then just let it go. This is how you breathe. Grounding breaths in and out. So as you allow yourself to find this rhythmic breathing, allow yourself to feel the sensations in the body. Perhaps as you slow the breath down, other things might come up. Emotions, thoughts, feelings, right? Just allow those things to be present, inviting one sensation, one thought, one emotion at a time, giving it its respectful time to explore whatever that is, and also practicing to detach and let go of that feeling, of that emotion, of that sensation, right? And then you notice again, maybe that next breath, the same emotion might come up. Perhaps it's a different emotion. Allow that to again be felt, be recognized. And then you practice again that artful letting go. You just let it go. And as you breathe in and out in this practice, perhaps there's that recurring emotion, but then you start to notice that as it comes back into center and as you let it go, there's less and less pull. There's less and less tug. There's less and less friction. And letting go is much easier, quicker, seamless, efficient, however you want to call it, right? So that's practice number 1. Are you calm now? I feel calm. We still have 3 other practices, maybe a bonus practice too. The second practice that I want to introduce to you is a little bit outside of the box. I say this or encourage this all the time in all my classes. I am a mover and a shaker, and I am rhythmic. And so, if you've been in my class, you probably will hear the a signature snap, a signature, a little wiggle, a little extra shake, because shaking is a really good way to release tension. So on this next practice, I encourage you to maybe stand up. I can't stand up because I have this set right here, right? But I will guide you through it. So this next practice, you will be standing up, feet width distance apart. You are about 2 fists away from one another, those feet. Yep. Hip width apart. I think that's what I meant. I don't know if I said that correctly. And then from there, I want you to awaken your toes. So wiggle your toes. And as you wiggle your toes, slowly place them back down to earth. Yeah. Imagine as if they are turtle heads poking out of the shell and then releasing it back down. I learned that from T.S. Little, by the way, another favorite book of mine. Maybe I'll introduce that next book to you on another episode. But I just want to reference that and also give thanks to T.S. for that analogy. Again, heel, toe, lift the toes like turtle heads poking out, and then release it down. So settle in here. Feel the arches of the feet. Allow yourself to not collapse on those arches. Yeah. Maybe you can do heel toe, heel toe. So you're moving front, back, and then you add your rhythmic breathing. Inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale, and then slowly settle into a space of neutral. Yeah. And then right now, you start to allow the hands to fall by the hips on your sides. And then I want you to shake the hands. Shake your hands. Yeah. All right. You're inhaling and exhaling, and you're releasing, letting go. Exhale out. You can start with that, and then allow your arms to release by your sides. Just let it be. And then allow the shoulders to shrug up to your ears. And then shrug it down. Yeah. Shrug the shoulders up your ears and down. Yeah. A few more times. Inhale. Exhale. Yep. And then this is your rhythm. Inhale and exhale as quickly as you want, shaking the shoulders. As you shake your shoulders, maybe eventually your whole body starts to move. This is actually a really cool exercise to do in the morning, cool exercise to do in the middle of the day. Just giving yourself like what, 20 30 seconds of just allowing yourself to reset, a minute of movement, shaking the body, moving the way you want to. And guess what? My favorite part of this is you can play your favorite song and just shake it out. One of the classes that I love to teach is called, it's movement. It's somatics. I haven't taught it for a while, but we shake our booties. Pretty good, liberating experience. Shaking away whatever it is that ourselves to truly express, right? I'll tell you more about that later, but that is the second practice, is shaking to release tension. Ah, maybe there's a little bit of grunt there that you can express. At least for me, that really allows me to let go of whatever it is that's pent up. Mm. hmm The third practice that I would like to introduce to you is body scan awareness. Super easy. We kind of done it already earlier. Awareness all the way to our toes and all the way to the arches of our feet, to our heels, all the way to our shins, to our calf muscles, to our knees, all the way up to our thighs and our hamstrings, allowing that energy. I love to visualize this beautiful energy that I follow through, that I usually used to like almost comb through, um, nourishing the body from our hips to our front body to our womb, if you are have a womb, to all the way to our back body, low back. We have a lot of tension there. Yeah. Allow yourself to then rise all the way up to the belly, to the chest, to your sternum. Allow that energy to release through your shoulders, all the way down to your fingertips, and all the way back up to your spine, the back of the head, all the way to the crown of the head, down to your third eye space. Allow that energy to come down to the tip of your nose and down to your cupid's bow and all the way down to your chin, should I say. A body scan. I know that I guided you through all those different parts of the body, but perhaps taking your time to really go through each part of the body. If you even feel compelled to, you can ask the body, how are my toes feeling? How are my shins feeling? And so on and so forth. Right. All right. Well, the fourth practice that I want to introduce you to, and please let me know if you want me to provide a longer episode of practice on these, because I feel like I'm breezing through this real quickly, introducing one practice after another. The fourth practice that I want to introduce to you this week is mindful walking. So you just do your hot girl walk, hot girl summer walk outside and enjoy the sunshine. And you are walking one foot at a time, feeling every single step, allowing yourself to find a quiet place to just walk. And you begin walking slowly and deliberately, paying attention to the sensations of your feet walking on the ground. I even encourage you, if you happen to be next to a lawn, a field of grass, by the lake, by the beach, um, try walking without shoes and really allow your feet to feel the sensations of the earth, even the rhythm of earth. Yeah. Allow yourself to step one step at a time, feeling every single bit. Yeah. I remember when I was in Colombia, I went on a hike, barefoot, and the mud, the stickiness. Uh, Actually, it's cold on my feet, and then walking past the river and feeling the sensation of the river gushing all the way to my toes, cleansing it, nurturing it, only to get dirty again. Mm, it was good. There are many moments where walking mindfully and really just soaking in the wisdom of earth. So, pretty cool stuff. I encourage you to do that. Let me know how that goes. And then, last but not the least, a bonus practice for those who are extra, uh, what do you call them, peeps? Extra studious student? How do you say it by normal people saying it? because my my way of speaking, it gets to the point, but it's not the common way of speaking. uh what do they say? Extra homework. What they say? um Bonus kids, no? How do you say it? Someone please help me. Shout out, tell me what I'm trying to say. um Extra homework, extra credit, something. Anyway, extra credit work. Here's what you will do. Might be a little bit more work for most of y'all as well, because I don't know how many of you actually speak to your body. It is a practice that is not always, well, we probably do speak to our body a lot, but asking yourself, how do I speak to my body? Is it in a loving, nurturing way, or is it a different way? Yeah. Take a moment to dialogue with your body. You can sit or lie down in a comfortable position again, maybe allowing your eyes to close, focusing on your breath, all the things that we've been working towards in grounding in alignment. And then allow yourself to bring your attention to a part of your body that feels tense or uncomfortable. Yeah. And then mentally ask that part of your body what it needs. Listen for any sensations, any emotions or thoughts that arise. And then instead of reacting, find a response that is compassionate and understanding and accepting and loving. And the more we practice these every single day, every week, every month, every year, the practice becomes so much more easier and just part of life for us, right? So, for our closing reflection, this episode has been long. See, I'm telling you, I'm telling you. If I'm just speaking from the heart, I feel like we can just talk forever. And I hope that you're still listening in. I'll make sure to have um, spaces, stamps. What do you call them? Timestamps, so that you know exactly where these practices are located, right? As we close, take a moment to notice how you feel right here, right now. Perhaps you're feeling more grounded, more present, and more connected to your body. Remember that these practices are tools you can return to anytime you need to reconnect, release, and restore. 5 free practices that you can do at any time, at any point of the day. And I encourage you to do one practice each day to focus on, right? And by the time it's the next week for episode 4, I hope that you feel like a pro on these practices: grounding breaths, body scans, speaking to yourself with kindness and compassion. Yeah. Walking mindfully, right? All these practices that allows you to ground down, be here in the moment, and really get aligned. If this episode resonated with you, go ahead and share it with folks that you want to share it with, as usual. We are now on Apple Podcasts, Apple Music. We are also on Spotify. Again, you can follow me at HYPEYOGI on Instagram, and I Am Well Podcast on Instagram as well. We will be soon available on YouTube. Hopefully, we can get it together for you to also watch these videos there. And I'm going to close it out right here. And until next time, you keep moving, you keep breathing, and stay well, be well. I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace out. Ciao.